So multiple regression is an extension of linear regression. So let's see, firstly I want to again load some data and some data set. So import the pandas basically. So some library, matplotlib, seaborn, and I need only the linear model. So sklearn, and I need only the linear model, and also the from sklearn import linear model. So after fetching this data, I want to load the data set. So all the library into the perfect manner. So how I can load the data set? If I want to load the data set, so again, not to this one. I want to load the data set with the Google Colab. And we know very well you can load the data into the Jupyter directly. So google.colab and import file. So once you import the file, it will ask you to load the data. And you can click to choose, like to select the car data basically. So car data. You can see I have successfully loaded this data, car data. So now, so the df, so pd dot read Excel, because we have the Excel file, and car data dot and the df. You can see I have successfully loaded the data. Car is name is there, car model is there, and the volume of the car, and the weight, and the CO2. So now I want to discuss some univariant analysis like the df dot unique, and you can also check to there. No need to the extra. You can also check to there, and like any particular company dot unique, and the shape is also. But the company name, it is not okay. Firstly, I want to load this data and to this shape. Then, so we don't have any the company. We just have the name is car. And inside the car, you can print like how many cars are there. So there are so many cars are there. And now I want to find out the dependent and the independent variable. So the put the dependent variable of variable like the y, and the independent variable is x. So like independent variable, so in x we have the data like the df. Inside the df we have the name is weight. And one more thing is volume. So weight and volume. and the dependent is CO2. So dependent is Y CO2. So now I want to apply the linear regression. So not to directly basically linear model then the linear regression. So there is no need, actually I have already defined this for linear regression and want to predict the data. But if I want to predict the score of this one, so the 37% my score. But I want to predict, so so I want to basically to predict only those results. The weight is 2300 and the volume is 1300. This. So it will generate. So I want to check out the CO2, carbon oxide. So carbon oxide basically based on the volume and the weight or not. So on that situation basically now I want to predict the score. So again we are saying to this one, now I want to fit the data and the linear regression it is okay. So X and Y fit it is okay. Now I want to predict, like predicted CO2. So if you want to predict it CO2, now you can see. So I want to click to there and you can see there is only the 37% correlation and this is the predicted value like 107. So 107, that is the thing basically. And this is your choice, like if you want to predict some more, like those CO2 predict the 1000 and the volume is this one. Now you can also predicted CO2 too. So those weight is less and the volume is also less, so give some less carbon dioxide. Obviously, so the thing is that so the carbon dioxide is basically depend on like weight and the volume. So similarly, if I want to visualize this data into the plot, obviously now some coefficient and some intercept if you want to display, it is okay. So the intercept line and this is the coefficient like the 75 and the 78, it will be little bit increase. But now the question is that I want to properly understood and want to properly understand what is the inside of this one with the help of chart. So I want to use the plotting basically, visualize the regression, basically fit for weight CO2. So I want to use first one the this chart the reg relationship basically the reg plot the weight and the height, and now I want to pass the data. So this is the first chart I want to visualize, and now you can show the output. Very nice. Now you can see the data is weight and the CO2. So the carbon dioxide is depend on the weight. So this is the one thing. And now I want to visualize like carbon dioxide is based on the volume. So this is the thing. So because we are saying only the 30% strong correlation between the data. So it is the thing basically to visualize the data into this plot. Now, so now if I want to display all the things, so pair plot to visualize relationship. So inside the pair plot, if I want to display the pair plot, not to directly all, like the weight, car and the CO2. And I want to find out the correlation, like kind regression, because we have the regression uh, thing is there. And now I want to show the PLT dot show. So after applying this one, you can see this is the simple like weight wise CO2, volume wise. Now very good. So the it is the correlation according to the weight. So weight wise weight and the weight wise volume and the CO2 wise weight. So the I want to compare the multiple relationship to all of them between the data like the volume. So this is the pair plot basically useful for the multiple relationship. So I want to give you the recall. So firstly I have loaded the data into this linear regression. So multiple linear regression. So firstly I have loaded the data, and if you are directly using the Jupyter notebook, so you can directly upload the data and you just write to this one. No need to write this one. So once you have loaded this data, you can perform some EDA process like to check out some unique value in the column. Then to store the value into the X and the Y axis. And also want to predict the data like the weight and basically the volume, or you can say that the horsepower, the CC. And after that I want to like visualize the data weight and the CO2, like there is any difference weight and the CO2 and the volume and the CO2 carbon dioxide. So this is the reason like the when is getting high. So it is high, but that is only the 37% of the correlation. When I want to perform like the weight, volume and the CO2, weight to all, volume to all, CO2 all, the regression. So the pair plot basically is more useful on that situations. That is the main benefit of using the multiple regression. Thank you very much.